Hey everyone, it's Mike here with video number 4. What I'd like to do today is talk about a band that I was into quite a bit back in high school and early college days. It's a band called Bauhaus. They're known as the Godfathers of Goth. They're dark wave, post-punk, whatever you want to call them, but I really love them, and I just wanted to kind of go through the records that I collected back in the day. All these records are from back in the mid-'80s when I was collecting these. I don't have anything new that I've purchased new by them. Well, maybe one thing, but it's not really Bauhaus. But I'd like to talk about these and try to get through these pretty quick, because otherwise it'll turn into a really long video. So let's get started. I want to go chronologically in order of when these were released. For the most part, I mean, there might be a couple of things out of order, but that's for a reason. The first one is a 12-inch single that they released, Bela Lugosi's Dead. The B-side is called Boys. Boys is a fantastic song. I mean, Bela Lugosi's Dead is great, but this one is actually a really good song. The B-side is a really good song too. Boys. So that's a 12-inch single. This is what the sleeve looks, or the label looks like. All these records are black vinyl, so I won't need to pull them out and show you all the black vinyl. But Small Wonder Records, 1979 release, Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's Dead. Now, they released a series of 3 singles on 4AD Records after this, 1980, Dark Entries, Terror Couple Kill Colonel, and Telegram Sam. And I have the first, or one of the 3 singles, Dark Entries, 4AD, 7-inch. The B-side is called Untitled. Again, 4AD Records. Peter Murphy's right there, looking all kind of crazy and fiendish there. Dark Entries, fantastic song. Never released on a full-length album. It was just a single-only release. After the band broke up in 1983, 4AD went and put out this 12-inch EP, and it's a collection of those first 3 EPs that I just mentioned. So it's Bauhaus 12-inch EP, 4AD. So here's all the singles that they released. Telegram Sam, Dark Entries, Terror Couple Kill Colonel, plus some B-sides, 4AD Records. That was the band. I think that's a photo still from their Telegram Sam video that they put out back then. The label, 4AD, looks like a typical 4AD kind of label cover. And then the other side, the list of the songs, sides A and B. Then 1980, so they released those first 3 singles, and then they released a full-length LP, and that is called In the Flat Field. This is one of the records that you always see, Bauhaus. You always see this one on the VC. Great album, their first full-length album. Song listing, my favorites are Double Dare, In the Flat Field, and Stigmata Martyr. I think those are all 3 just classic Bauhaus songs. So this was released on 4AD Records as well. The inner sleeve has all of the lyrics there, and it's got a picture of a monkey for some reason. So if you need a picture of a monkey, it's right there. And then on the other side, picture of the band, there's Peter Murphy looking all skeletal, and David J. on bass, Kevin Haskins on drums, and Daniel Ash on guitar. Fantastic album. This release, even though it was released on 4AD originally, somehow living in Florida, I went to an indie record store to buy this, and I came up with the Italian pressing. I have no idea how, but it's called Expanded is the name of it, Expanded Music. So that's what the labels look like for Expanded Music, in case you were curious. I'm sure everybody is. So sounds great. I've had this since, I don't know, 85 or so when I bought most of this collection. The next album is 1981, and this is the album Mask. It's a gatefold. It's the front of it and the back of it. This drawing was drawn by Daniel Ash, the guitarist. So that's what that looks like, and you can see Daniel Ash's signature down here in the corner. On the inside of the gatefold are the lyrics, and then a cool picture of the band right there. They switched from 4AD to Beggar's Banquet at this time. Beggar's Banquet is the parent company of 4AD. And again, I must have bought these at the same time, because this is also an Italian pressing. It's just weird. I didn't notice this until I started getting into Discogs and stuff, and I went back and looked and realized, hey, this isn't Beggar's Banquet, this is expanded. But anyway, originally it was Beggar's Banquet, and this is an expanded release or pressing, and that's what the label looks like for this one. Italian pressing. Sounds great regardless. They released some singles when this came out in 1981, and one of them was Passion of Lovers, which is a great song. This one I found Kick in the Eye. It's a 4-song EP. It's called Searching for Satori EP, and it's got Kick in the Eye and In Fear of Dub, and Harry and Earwax were like a couple of outtakes or whatever from that album. This is on Beggar's Banquet. This is not an Italian pressing. This is the actual UK original Beggar's Banquet. For that, it's got, yeah, I already listed the songs there, so that's cool. I also found a bootleg from this era, from this time period, and it's Bauhaus doing a cover of Spirit in the Sky, and the B-side is Hollow Hills. It's like a remix of Hollow Hills from that album, from that Mask album. There's no dates or anything on this, but I'm assuming this was put out at the same time as the Mask release. The cover of Spirit in the Sky is actually really good. It's a great recording, and it's just a really cool, interesting take on that song, and a classic song. Their next release, they put out a live album called Press the Eject and Give Me the Tape. Doesn't have my favorite selection of songs for them to do live, but it's got some good ones. It's got Stigmata Martyr and Dark Entries, which are two of my favorite. It's got Bela Lugosi's Dead, of course, and they do a version of Man with X-Ray Eyes, and Man with X-Ray Eyes is a really cool song. I forgot to mention the songs that I like off of Mask. I'm going too fast. Mask, the songs I love on this are Hair of the Dog, Man with X-Ray Eyes, Passion of Lovers, and Mask. So anyway, back to regular broadcasting. On this live album, they do Man with X-Ray Eyes, but it's a slowed down version. It's kind of weird. It's cool. It's nice to hear them do like a different version, but I prefer the original off the album. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Next album that they released, 1982, is called The Sky Has Gone Out. I have the American version of this, so this is on A&M Records, just a plain black cover. You see the A&M logo there. The inside, it's got photos of the band. These photos were taken by Finn Costello, famous rock photographer. And these are the lyrics on the back. And this is what the labels look like, the traditional A&M Records label there. It's got some great songs on this album as well. It's got Silent Hedges, All We Ever Wanted Was Everything, Spirit, and they do a cover of Third Uncle, which is a Brian Eno cover, which was really popular at the time that they came out. It's a cool song. It's what they call a banger, I guess. So for Spirit's a good song on there, but they re-recorded it. I guess the band wasn't really satisfied with it, so they went back in the studio and re-recorded it, did a different arrangement, and it's a lot better. And it appears later on. I'll show you the release that it appears on later. They released it as a single. I don't have the single. But speaking of singles, they released a cover of Ziggy Stardust, which is another song that Bauhaus is really known for and famous for. Obviously, they've got the David Bowie face paint insignia on there over the Bauhaus logo. And then the B-side is Third Uncle, again, the cover, the Brian Eno cover. This is a 4-song EP, though. It's got Waiting for the Man. They do a cover of that, the Velvet Underground song. And Nico actually makes an appearance on here. And the other side, Ziggy Stardust and Party of the First Part, which is just another throwaway kind of song that they put on there. After that, I was able to find this kind of deluxe version of The Sky's Gone Out. And it's released on Polygram Records. And it's a kind of a deluxe bonus kind of situation. They've got the inner sleeve for the original record, just like the A&M version. The label's a little bit different. It's got the same Bauhaus font as on the front cover. But it comes with a bonus disc. So the bonus disc is, again, got Ziggy Stardust on there. And then the B-side is Legarty and Nick and Kick in the Eye. Now, Kick in the Eye was that same song from the previous album. And the record label has got the David Bowie over the Bauhaus logo, and then the other side just the regular Bauhaus face on there. The next 12-inch release that they put out, or single that they put it out as 12-inch and 7-inch. I've seen the 7-inch of this on the VCI. I've not seen the 12-inch. It's a song called Legarty and Nick, and this is a 4-song EP. One side's got Legarty and Nick and Watch That Granddad Go. Watch That Granddad Go is the B-side on the 7-inch. And then it's got Paranoia, Paranoia on the other side, and In the Flat Field live in Paris. So that's a cool little extra. Then 1983, they put out a single for their upcoming album. This is called She's and Parties. And it's a 3-song EP. It's got She's and Parties, and then here's the dub, which is a dub remix of She's and Parties, and then another song called Departure, another kind of throwaway song. So that's a single. It's got, the label has the mask from the album cover, or the EP cover, and then it's got just the song listing on the other side of that label. It's Beggar's Banquet as well. All of this has been Beggar's Banquet for the most part, unless otherwise noted. And then 1983 brought their final album, their final studio album, Burning from the Inside. There is the band on the back. This is Beggar's Banquet. The band on the back, these are all stills from their video for She's and Parties. Fantastic album, my favorite Bauhaus album. There's a story behind this album, the making of it. Peter Murphy was sick, the vocalist was sick for about 6 months, so the band went ahead and recorded without them. And you can kind of tell that they were kind of thinking independently on this, because David J. sings on one of the songs and Daniel Ash sings on one of the songs, and they do a song where it's like a whole chorus of all of them singing together, and it's just not so focused on Peter Murphy as it has been in past albums. So when Peter Murphy got better, he came in to the studio and sang all this, filled in all the empty parts where his vocals needed to go. And there was just kind of a schism developed between all the band members. It might have been building long before that, but it just kind of came to a head. And the band decided to split before this album was even released. They had already decided that they were officially broken up. They went on ahead and toured in support of this album. I guess maybe they were contractually obligated or whatever, but they did tour. But then once they were done, they were done. That was it. It was over. This is the label, Beggar's Banquet, Burning from the Inside. Hard to read, but songs are there. Favorite album. The songs that I like, that I recommend on this is She's and Parties, King Volcano, Who Killed Mr. Moonlight, Slice of Life, Honeymoon Croon, Kingdom's Coming, Hope. There's just a lot of them. I mean, usually I like 3, maybe 4 songs on an album, but this one, almost the whole damn thing is just freaking great. So highly recommend Burning from the Inside. It's a weird Bauhaus album because it really sounds kind of disjointed, but to me it's just awesome. Let's see. So they broke up in '83, and then 2 years later they came out with like a best of. One of them they released was a single LP, and it was called The Singles 1979 to 1983. I do not have that one. I did not buy that one, but I did buy this deluxe version. It's just called 1979 to 1983, and it's a double LP gatefold with the faces on front and back. And on the inside, it's got, kind of hard to show, but it's got the band there, the band photo that goes from the front to the back. And then in the middle is this kind of little mini booklet of these nice shots of the band, Peter Murphy, and on the inside, Kevin Haskins and Daniel Ash, and on the back, David J. This is numbered. It's a numbered edition. I got number 32,436. So obviously there's a few copies out there, but I've never seen it in the wild. I've never seen it in a used bin. I haven't seen it on the VC yet. Maybe it's out there and I just haven't seen it. But I don't know, seems kind of rare to me at least. So I'm glad I got that back in the day. The inner sleeves, this one comes with a discography of all their full-length albums and their live album. And then on the back is a listing of all of their EPs, 12-inch singles, 12-inch EPs, 7 inches, all their stuff there. And back in the day, back in 1985, didn't have internet, so I couldn't go look at Wikipedia to figure out which songs or any kind of discography site or whatever to look up what records there were out there. So this was a handy little guide. It told you when it was on Beggar's Banquet, it tells you what the listing is for Beggar's Banquet, but some of these are not Beggar's Banquet. But anyway, handy little guide. Then the other inner sleeve is a listing of their side projects. So it's got like Tones on Tail and Love and Rockets and the David J. solo stuff. And you can tell this is out in 95 because it only lists the one Love and Rockets album, Seventh Dream of Teenage Heaven. Obviously, they've released several more after that. So, and then on the back side, it's got their 2 videos that they released, video compilations. I remember I worked in a video store way back when, and we had both of these on VHS for rent. I was lucky enough to find a DVD version of both of those together. One of them is a collection of their music videos, and the other one is a live performance back in the Mask era. So that's pretty cool to watch. I saw Bauhaus perform here at the Mesa Amphitheater for their Resurrection Tour back in 1998. And memory's really fuzzy about that show, but luckily I do have a DVD of the tour, not the actual literal concert that I went to, but the tour. This was recorded in New York City, but Gotham, it's got that concert tour or whatever on DVD, so I can go back and watch it, which is pretty awesome. The only other things I have here, I've got Peter Murphy. Once Bauhaus split up, he did this project called Dolly's Car with the bassist from Japan, Mick Karn. I'm a huge Mick Karn fan, so this was just an ideal matchup to have Peter's voice with Mick Karn's bass lines. And I guess he plays like oboe and a bunch of other stuff Mick Karn does. But I think this release is really cool. I think it sounds great, and I know the critics aren't big fans of it, but I don't care. I think it's pretty awesome. And I used to have it back in the day. I bought it when I was in college. I remember having it. Don't have it anymore, so I went and bought it not too long ago in the past few months, and it's on blue vinyl. It's kind of cloudy, powdery blue marble kind of thing. It's pretty nice. Sounds great. Also, these are just things that I don't have any place else to put this on any other video for context, but I do have a couple of David J. solo albums. The Etiquette of Violence was his first solo album. There's David J. with his light bulb. And his second album is Crocodile Tears and the Velvet Kosh. So I've got that one too, and it's got some kind of spotting on it. I don't know what happened. I had it in a sleeve, but for whatever reason, it's got spottiness on it. So that's pretty much my Bauhaus collection. I appreciate you guys sitting through this. Didn't go too long. I talked really fast. Sorry about that. But it's a really cool band to get into. They have a lot of really interesting stuff, and some of their obscure releases have some hidden gems. So check them out, or just get their best of stuff, because they're just a fantastic band, and really good jumping off point. If you get into them, then check out Tones on Tail and Love and Rockets and Peter Murphy's solo stuff. I mean, Peter Murphy's putting out all his stuff now on reissues, like his whole solo career. So if you're into his voice and his music, then go check him out. But anyway, cool band. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I appreciate it. And y'all have a great July 4th weekend, and be safe, and peace.